Hello, hello. I'm a little bit early because I was messing with the lighting. I'll have to keep messing with it as we go. Okay. I put a new backdrop up here, just a camouflage net. So I was looking at the lighting. It looks okay. For darker material. If I use lighter material, though, it washes out completely. So hopefully, with a new camera, that those issues will be taken care of. But right now, I'm still using my computer's camera. So let's see. What happens if I dim the light a little bit? Let's see. If I dim the light, see, hey, Bill Hansen is here. First one. If I dim the light a little bit, I get blurry. So let's see. I'll have to experiment with it a little bit. That seems to be the happy medium right there, where it's not too blurry and not too washed out. So these live streams are 2 hours long. I'm going to try to nap through the whole live stream this time, though. And from now on, I'll be doing more napping because now I'm in my shop. Yeah, and I'm going to be setting it up as a studio as well as a shop. I don't like it as a studio because dust gets everywhere, but oh well. I'm just going to have to deal with it. So today I'm going to nap Knife River Flint. This might have some layers in it that might mess me up. And I have some obsidian and dacite, or dacite obsidian and then regular obsidian. And the darker colors show up pretty good. So I can do that. But like I said, if I use the lighter color for napping, it washes out. Hey, Keepers is here. Hello, everybody. There's only 4 everybody's. We're missing about 20 people. So we'll wait. But yeah, I'm going to try to nap through the whole session. And I got plenty to nap because I can nap anything now that I'm in my shop. Yeah, obsidian and all kinds of good stuff. Glass or obsidian, even though I try not to nap too much glass because of the shards. But darker glass or darker obsidian and dacite, yeah, I'll nap that all day long. It's easy to spot the flakes in the shards. Hey, Bushy's here, Fordo Joe. Yeah, cool. Let me see. Let me adjust this. So, how's it going? How's it going, Bushy? Let me see. What else? There's no channel news other than I'll be going on a trip, so I'm not going to be posting very many live streams, but I'll give you updates like on the road and stuff. And I'll try to film the nap in that I'm going to, or film all the vendors and all the nappers. So I'll post those videos, the update videos and that nap in video. And I'll probably shoot like this while I'm at the nap in. I'll bring my computer. Yeah. Let's see. Bushy says, I think I found a 4-inch elm out back. Sweet. Yeah, cool. I'm gonna cut some elm myself. I spotted some on the trail. Yeah. And they're close enough to the trail that they usually get cut anyway after a while, just to clean out all that mess on the sides of the trail. And I saw some locust, but they're kind of wonky, so I'm not gonna cut the locust, but the elms are straight, were the ones that I saw. So I'm gonna cut some of those myself. And they don't look twisted. Sometimes the elm will grow twisted, and then it's hard to make a bow out of it that's reliable. Tomlinson, hey, So I'll be making short bows as well as long bows, but I'm going to try to get good at making the short bows. I still have an Osage stave from Jesse that I need to make into a bow. It's sitting right there. Let's see. I brought in my bows from my storage unit. I got an Osage stave from Jesse, right? I didn't write the name on it, but I got the paper somewhere. If you recognize it and you say, no, that's not from Jesse, it's from me. Okay, well, correct me if I'm wrong. Do you want white ash staves also? I don't usually use white ash. So, Bushy, I don't bother with the white ash. Yeah. I've made 2 ash bows and they both broke really fast. They dry out too quick or something happens and they get brittle. Yeah, so don't bother with the ash. Maple is okay. In fact, I've only made 1 maple bow and it worked out good. I need to make more maple bows. No problem. Lots of ash here. Yeah. Um, the ash is actually in the past it was used more for arrows than for bows. Yeah. Because I think ash splits well. So back in the day, especially in the English longbow days, they made arrows out of ash. Graylin is here. Hello, hello. So the in the longbow days, you often hear accounts of them making the longbows out of yew or ash or elm, right? But I don't think ash was used for the bows. The ash was used for the arrows, so they get it mixed up. So the elm and yew bows were the most common in the longbow days. Yeah. And let me see. I'm trying to remember. I think that old I don't know how to pronounce it. The Molegabet bow that was found in northern Europe somewhere in the peat moss. It's almost a complete bow. I think that was elm. How about beech? I've never tried beech. And again, I think this was used more for arrows than for bows. Don't mess with the beech. I know we've got lots of beech and ash and birch here, but you know, those are like secondary or low grade wood for bows. It's like trying to make a bow out of poplar. It can be done, but it's the uh, the best wood, in my opinion, that is here in our area in New England is elm. Hey, Gary is here. Danny Moore is here. Awesome. Okay, so it's already 8 p.m. So let's see. Let's start napping. I'm curious about what this Knife River Flint's going to do. So let's start on this one. I think the lighting is going to be okay, although it's a little bit washed out. But if I don't have enough light, it looks too blurry. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Which way should I sit to get the indirect percussion so you can see what's going on? I think this view is good. Okay. Knife River Flint for Marty. He sends me these little nodules to try out and experiment with. I got 2 solid copper head boppers. They're not lead filled, they're solid copper. So occasionally I'll grind these down on the sander. This one's 8.3 ounces, and this is 5.3 ounces. and I'll be looking at the chat as much as I can. But like if I'm going to be napping the whole time, I may miss a bunch of the chat. Gary says fresh venison at Bushy's house. Come get some. Oh yeah. Dang. Yeah, I heard. Well, he told me already that you shot a deer or two. Yeah, cool. I just emptied out my freezer in anticipation of getting some deer meat when I go to Texas. Yeah. Oh, I that's what it looked like this was going to happen. It looks okay, right? But then when you hit into it, it's kind of layery and nasty. So not all of the Knife River Flint is good. Not all of the Knife River Flint is good. So I'll have to trim away some of that stuff. You can see it from here too, right? Yeah. Okay. No? Oh well. Can't see it, dude. Oh well. As best I can do with what I got. Yeah. I always try to make doo doo with what I got because I can't do no better. Uh, looks like our local rock. Yeah. It's from North Dakota, this stuff. It does look like our local rock here, like the Esopus and the other stuff on Onondaga. It's all kind of nasty. Yeah. So you've got to test this stuff out. Yeah. It's not always that great. Yeah. This particular piece, I think might not work. We shall see. I'll just nap it slowly. Try to keep up with the chat. Oh, it's really bad. It's even got crystal pockets, which is unusual for Knife River. You can't see the little shiny crystal pockets in there. No. Who else we got? Mm-hmm. Is that the fall napping at Letchworth? Yeah. But I got some of our local stuff at the fall nap-in at Letchworth, but this is not from the nap-in. This is from Marty in Buckskin NYB. This stuff's from North Dakota. Mm-hmm. It's Knife River Flint. Some people love it, but sometimes it's nasty. Dang. Do I have any more sitting up here? I have a whole bunch of it, but I think it's all outside. If this doesn't work out, it's okay because I got obsidian that's sweet. I got some sweet obsidian. Uh-oh, there we go. Look at that. Oh, no. It's snapped in half-ish time. Yeah, this is actually one of the worst pieces I've ever seen of Knife River Flint. Look at that. It didn't even snap all the way through. That's how bad it is. When it's high grade, it'll snap clean. But this didn't snap clean. Not only did it snap in half, but it didn't even snap clean. That's nasty. Let's see, what is this piece gonna do? Hey, Brent is here. Mike Mason is here. Sal is in the house. Everyone's starting to roll in. Yeah, this reminds me of Walmart Rock for sure. Yeah. Dang it. Don't worry, there's more of this in higher grade. Yeah. Not all of the Knife River Flint is like this, obviously. So, yeah, I'm just going to see if this is not salvageable at all. No, it's not even salvageable. None of this. Okay. So that was interesting. Yeah. I learned something new. That's the first piece of Knife River that was completely unsalvageable. That's a loud noise. See if I can make all these flakes in them crash. Yes. Oh, let's see. Not even this. Not none of these pieces are salvageable. Dang it. Okay, so no, let's get into some sweet material. Yeah. Hey, Danny Moore, super chat for super glue. Oh yeah, I gotta put my other glove on. Thank you, thank you. Okay, let's see. Gander salt your watch? What does that mean? Ed Gould says, Geese, how late am I? You're not late. I'm starting the napping early. Yeah. Why? Because I'm in my shop. I can take advantage of being in my shop and start napping early. I'm not in my house. In my house, I wasn't too excited about napping in there, so I didn't nap very much. But now I'm in my shop. I put some camouflage netting back here to hide the wall. And the lighting isn't that great, but I'm working on it. One of these days I'll have it figured out. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, that dust is rising already. I should turn on my dust fan. I have a filter and a fan, but I'm afraid it's going to interfere with the microphone. I don't know. Gary says this is like date night, but with rocks. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mike Mason says I'm just a terrible speller. Sorry, Patrick. No wonder I don't understand it. Yeah, performance art. Danny says performance art. Yeah. I'm gonna try to do some good performance art. Blades and okay. Sal says, "Oh, I couldn't see the wall. It's working." Yeah, this is a camouflage net that I bought specifically for a background. Yeah, I don't use camouflage and all that when I go hunting. Yeah, I'm not into the. I think I hunt like I fish, just minimal stuff. If they see me and smell me, it really doesn't matter how much camouflage I got on. Yeah. The important thing is that they don't see me or smell me. And that's why I like firearms because I can be 100 yards away and they can't see me or smell me. And I can be wearing bright clothing and all kinds of non camouflage stuff. And bing, that's it. Easy peasy. That's the way I like to hunt. Easy peasy. 100-yard shots. Yeah. Don't I find it exciting to stalk the deer or hide in a blind, all camouflagey, wearing a ghillie suit or whatever they call them, and trick the deer and be all sneaky? Don't I love that? Then film it and whisper like it can't hear me. There's a deer approaching. It's like 30 yards. You can't hear any whispering going on or anything. Yeah. And you can't hear the arrow fly. And I got camo all over. If you hunt that way, I'm not making fun of you. I don't do that. I don't do it that way. When I hunt, I shoot at them far enough away that they don't even know I'm there. They can't smell me or hear me or see me. That's the way I like to hunt. But when I go to Texas this time, the way they got it set up, they've got a feeder. So that's even more easy peasy because those guys will sit in the feeder and the deer will come in and they'll watch and they won't hunt them. They'll just watch them so the deer get used to the fact that people are there too. So it's almost like just slaughtering the animal. It's not really hunting. Yeah. Which is easy peasy. Yeah. I like that one. I like that way too, actually. Sitting in a blind and don't have to wear camouflage or nothing. And the deers, yeah, those guys are sitting in there again. What are they doing? I don't know. Probably eating sandwiches. And they're just sitting there eating the corn. Just not a care in the world, and then blam! You've been eating corn on me all year. Now I'm reaping my reward. Yes, sir. Yep. You thought you were going to eat that corn for free, right, dear? You thought you were going to eat it for free. Yeah, that's what they think. I said, those dumb humans, they put this food out for the rabbits, and here we are, we're being sneaky eating it. We're eating the rabbits' food. See, they think it's for rabbits because the rabbits are always there eating it. The deer think they're being smart. Yeah, they smarted themselves into being stupid. That's what they did. That's what they do. So, am I going to talk about napping at all? Am I going to do instructional napping? No. That's what I have. That's why I have the first person videos. I'm going to do the instructions on those. Who else is here that I missed? Anybody? Let's see. You got 21 people. We got almost everybody. Bushy says, I like climbing the tree stands. You can take a nap in them. I see. But, I mean, how do you take a piss on the tree stand? I mean, I've sat in the tree stand before. I suppose you got to stand up unless you've got a technique for sitting down and taking a piss up there. I don't know. And then when you do that, the deer can smell it. So they're not going to walk too close. They're going to go, hey, wait a second. Wait a second. What's that aroma? Guys been eating broccoli and onions? Sausages? They can probably tell what you've been eating by the smell of your urine. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They know you're there, especially if you're doing that. Again, I'm not making fun of you. I don't do it. It just doesn't make sense to me. Now, if I was trying to survive, like I get lost in the wood accidentally and find myself wanting to hunt some deer, yeah, the best thing to do is climb a tree because they don't look up in the trees. And then you put something to cover your scent. Like you go and find a skunk and get sprayed by a skunk and then climb the tree. That way, it doesn't matter if you're upwind or downwind, you smell like a skunk. And then you sit up in the tree and then yeah. Yeah, if I was trying to survive, I'd probably do that. But, there's not many places to get lost around here to exercise your survival situation skills, quote unquote. In a survival situation, that's what you do. You mean when you accidentally, quote unquote, get lost? Man, I'm lost. Where do I go? I don't know. I'm lost. I mean, I can see the. Never mind. I'm lost. So now I got to survive. Yeah, I was going to say I can see a trail marker right there, but I'm lost. Yeah. I don't know what happened. Woe is me. Now I got to use my iodine pill to decontaminize my water. And those iodine pills have been sitting in my bug out bag for 2 years, and I need to use them. Yep. There you go. There was this. I saw this one video where a guy was homeless and he went out into the woods. He said, "I was tired of living on the street, so I just went in the woods." And he parked himself next to a pond. Homeless guy, and he ended up setting up a tent made of tarps, and he had a hammock he would sleep in, and he would occasionally go into town and get clothing. I don't know how he's taking showers. I can't remember, but he would fish for his meals. And the guy that was interviewing him was watching him prepare to fish. So he would catch a bunch of fish, like 5, 6, 7 fish, not too big, and then put them all around the fire on the rocks. No grill, no nothing. Just he built a fire and stick the fish around the fire on the rocks. And he'd be sitting there and they'd be talking, and then he'd pick one up and just eat the whole thing. No cleaning, no scaling, nothing. And the interviewer says, "You just eat them just like that?" And he goes, "Yeah, I just got tired of cleaning them. There's no need to clean them. You fry them up next to the fire on the rocks like that. The bones get crispy, everything gets crispy." So he's sitting there. That's it. Eat. So as I'm saying to myself, hey, if you want to know how to survive, let's say in a survival situation, just ask a homeless guy. Yeah. They're probably full of knowledge on how to survive because that's their life every day. Survival situation every day. And the water he would drink, he just had a little pot and boil the water, like a teapot or something. You just go to the pond, get some water. He says, "There's a spot where I can get it. There's no plants and stuff." And then puts the teapot on the fire. Wait till it boils, and I think he put him in something else too. Like I had another container where he would put the water if you wanted to wash up or something, and also I guess drink it too. But it was just every day the same old routine. He'd go catch some fish, put them around the fire, get some water, put it in a teapot, and then he had like these little packages of snacks and stuff that he would get when he would go into town, and he would find little packages. He says, "I don't eat anything that's already open. It's got to be in a little package. They pop it open." Yeah, and that was his life. That was it. Let's see here. What's going on? People get lost here and are never found, said Bushy. Yeah, but do they want to never be found? That's probably it. Ed says, I had a big antelope come right up to where I had my pants down around my ankles and the gun 10 feet away, leaning on a post. Dang. Isn't that always the way, though? They know when you're doing stuff. Let's see. Gary says, I always peed out of the stands. Yeah. Yeah, you hope the wind. Mike Mason says, hope the wind is blowing the right way. Yeah. Ed Gould says, you carry a pee bottle. Yeah. Let's see. Except, if I'm going to be there for 3 hours, 4 hours, that pee bottle is going to be pretty big. I like to stay hydrated. Mike Mason says, I almost don't know what rabbits are anymore with the lack of coyote hunters, protection of birds of prey, and introduction of bobcats and rattlesnakes. Yeah, I don't see many rabbits around here either. Okay, with birds, Mike Mason says, yeah, well, if you're hunting ducks, I suppose the camouflage is better. I mean, it's more useful. Me, yeah, when I'm doing the live streams, I'm holding it in for 2 hours. No, I don't need to pee that much. I go before the live stream, and yeah, there's some guys. When you reach my age, some guys are, constantly needing to go. Not me. I'm not even trying to hold it. I don't need to go that much. Now you know. Uh, Ed Gould says, "Yeah, you hope the wind isn't blowing." The weird thing is, I've been hunting where the wind goes in one direction in the morning and then it goes the other direction as it warms up. So you're like, dang it. What do you do? That's why I like to stalk so that you can actually move around and put yourself in a position where the wind isn't against you. But if you're in a tree stand, I mean, the deer can smell you. They just don't see you, right? They don't see you up in the tree because they don't look up there, but they can smell you. They'll still come around their normal trail. Because um, I watched my brother-in-law hunt, and he says that he's got that decenter and stuff. He sprays on himself and all that kind of stuff. Washes his clothes in a certain kind of deodorant, some kind of soap or whatever that removes human scent or disguises it somehow. He does all that stuff. But I've seen deer there where he hunts just walk by when one time when we were just camping there or just visiting, and I don't think they care. Yeah, the ones that if you find it very, very hard to hunt a deer, that means they're under a lot of pressure. There's a lot of hunters. So just hunt where there isn't very many hunters. Right? Not very many hunters, but lots of people still. So they're used to people, but they're not used to people shooting at them. Mike Mason says, I think I'll take a drive and get some chocolate Crown Royal. They sell that? Dang. I got a good at one time I had a taste for that Fireball stuff, that cinnamon whiskey. Man, that's the only whiskey I like is the Fireball stuff. I don't like whiskey, but when I had that Fireball stuff, man, I could start liking it. But I never heard of chocolate Crown Royal. Holy moly. Uh, Gary says, Bushy, them are calling big woods. Let's see. What are we doing in the chat? Gary says, I'm part camel. I guess so. Let me see. Jim Cooper's here. I made it out to my rocks, but I'm not allowed to touch it yet. Oh, dang. Jim Cooper's here. Yes, yes. He made it out to his rocks, but he's not allowed to touch them yet. Who's not allowing you? Hot damn is my favorite. Jim Cooper says doctor's orders. Oh, I see. What is your favorite, Ed? I missed that. I mean, that's not the chocolate stuff, is it? No. Bushy says, Gary, yes, there's a lot of woods here. Ed Gould says, HTO, damn. You guys are talking in code. Ed says, it's schnapps. Oh, okay. So what is schnapps? What kind of schnapps are you talking about? I don't particularly care for schnapps. All the stuff I've tried, I knew a guy that would drink lots of schnapps of different types, and I never had it. I never understood the appeal. They all taste like cough syrup of different flavors. You can get cherry flavored cough syrup and then grape flavored cough syrup and all these other flavors. That's what it seemed like to me. The schnapps was just like flavored cough syrup. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Okay, so Jim Cooper says I'll see him again Wednesday, and hopefully he'll give me the all clear. Sweet. Okay, cinnamon. 100 proof cinnamon. Yeah, I did like the Fireball, which is cinnamon, the Fireball whiskey. I did like that. I mean, I'm not a big drinker, so I just sip it. Yeah, and it was awesome. I said, no, no, I can't be doing this. Nope, no. It's awesome, but I can't be doing it. I got to go back to watching my videos on homeless people and how they survive in the survival situation. Yeah, they don't make no bows and arrows to go hunt rats and stuff. So how do they survive? It's an interesting question. You don't see homeless people making bows and arrows, right? They could be making bows and arrows and go shoot stuff. Street pigeons, do they make bows and arrows so they can shoot a street pigeon? What you having today, buddy? Oh, I got rock dove on the menu. Look, I've been shooting with my new bow and arrow that I've been making. I've been making some good arrows. I go over there to the park and they've got when they trim all their stuff, I get stuff for arrows and bows, and I've been shooting rock doves. Look, he's got probably got a. It'd be funny to see. He's got a little skewer and he's rotating these pigeons on a spigot or whatever, a spit, whatever you call them, over a fire. Those look pretty good. Yep, that'd be funny. But see, they don't do that. So I'm interested in how people actually survive because it comes down to World War III or apocalypse. We're going to be taking lessons from these homeless people. How do they survive? I saw this one homeless guy that was doing gardens in people's lawns. He was living in a wagon. He would tow the wagon. He had built the wagon himself that he'd sleep in. He'd tow the wagon and he had a goat. So he would tie the goat down on the yard. The goat would eat the grass and he would plant vegetables in people's gardens. I mean, people's lawns. So it's like lawn gardening. And he would also take care of cutting the grass and stuff like that. Right? I'm pretty sure he did the lot mow. I'm pretty sure he also did lawn mowing for money and lawn care. But he would plant vegetables, and he had this whole neighborhood set up to where he'd plant his vegetables. His goat would graze. He would get goat milk, and then with the lawn mowing stuff, he would have money for other food. Anyway, he survived with that little cart, the little goat, and his gardens. There's someone who I think is smart because every day his life was a survival situation. Some people are going to say, "What are you talking about? That's so stupid, man. Bushcraft videos are the bomb because they teach you how to really survive in the survival situation. You got to go to the woods. If you're in an apocalyptic scenario and you're in a city, what are you going to do? There's no woods there. You're not going to make yourself a bow and arrow and start shooting deer. It kind of reminds me, I saw this one video where the wild hogs are not only a problem here in the United States, but I think they're beginning to be a problem in India or some other place like that. And it's not so much the hogs that are the problem; it's the wild cats, the jaguars or whatever they had in or mountain lions type of things. What were they? They were, big cats coming into where people are living, going after the hogs mainly, but sometimes people would get attacked by these predators. So it's not only the hogs that are the problem that mess everything up, the gardens and the lawns and stuff, but the predators of the hogs. So I was watching a video where this hunter was hunting the hogs, and I guess the predators are protected, so he couldn't shoot them. So he's looking at them through the scope, and then I guess he's making money now on YouTube filming these predators. But that kind of reminds me of an apocalyptic situation where you'd have predators now moving into where the cities used to be, feeding on escaped livestock like hogs and that kind of thing because they breed so fast. And you got to get good at hunting predators. Yeah. Let's see. Jim Cooper says Tom Brown Jr. has a book on urban and suburban survival. Yeah, that would be useful. Most people live in urban environments. So if you find yourself in a survival situation, you're not going to be out in the woods. Besides, you don't want to go in the woods because the people out there are scoping you out. They're sitting out there in their cabins and they've got defensive positions set up. So they're maybe not inside their cabin, but they're inside their little defensive position and they're looking. Anybody comes out on my property, I'm going to blast them. So you don't want to go out in the woods during a survival situation or apocalyptic thing. Those areas are covered. You want to have to try to survive in the city. Right or no? Or am I crazy? Yeah, that too. Jim Cooper says, I would think if they had the skills to make and shoot a bow that accurately, they'd be living in the woods or near them and not in the major metropolis. Oh, you'd be surprised. Yeah. There's the guys that are expert in these primitive skills that live right in the city because they're married. Yeah. You can't take a wife out in the woods. Well, you can sometimes, but I don't know about you, but I didn't marry a woman like that. There's no way. No way she would live out in the woods. Heck, I took her camping when we first met, and she goes, I'm cold. I'm cold. Well, okay, we can build a little fire. But I'm cold right now. Okay, we'll build a bigger fire. But we don't even have to do that at home. We can just, go somewhere and sit in a nice place, nice and warm, and eat and order food. We don't have to even make it. Yeah, but isn't it cool to be out in the woods? We make our own food out here. I just brought everything. We mix it together and make it, right? We rehydrate it. It's cool, right? And she's crickets. Like, who did I marry? So, yeah, one of the first times I took my wife out camping was one of the last times I took my wife out camping. And that night, it got cold for her. Like, if it gets below 60, it's like freezing. It was freezing. It was only like 50, right? If it gets down to single digits, then that's when I get cold. But for her, it was like if it was below 60, holy moly. She goes, I was cold all night. Yeah, but we were in the same sleeping bag. I bought a 2-person sleeping bag. We were in the same sleeping bag, and you're still cold. And I knew she was because I don't know if you've gone through this before. I don't know if your wife is like this, but her toes never got warm, and her toes would always be next to my legs all night. And it would be like someone touching my legs with ice cubes. Psst, what are you doing? My toes are cold. Anyways, let's see what we got. Do you see that I'm actually making progress on this while I'm yip yapping? No. Um, let's see what we got going here. Okay, so Tom Brown's book, I read that. Mike Mason says, I was homeless once. My mom had a drug addiction. I almost ate an armadillo. Sucker got away, though. Oh, dang it. I would never do that. I'd never eat an armadillo because I'm afraid of the diseases I've heard. Uh, I was essentially homeless when I got divorced, right? So I lived in my van. Um, I had a little bit of income from YouTube, and then I could sell some of my stuff. So, but I was basically homeless for a while because I couldn't live in the same house with her for a while. And but yeah, the survival, as long as you're if you as long as you are very careful about what you buy for food, it doesn't cost very much. Yeah, you got to be smart about what you buy for food. And yeah, that's it. I mean, at the time, the eggs were cheap. At that time, the beef was cheap, and I already had switched to a carnivore diet for most of that time, so the preparation was really easy. Hey, Smallzilla's here. So anyway, to learn how to live in a survival situation, moral of the story is actually start living that way, so you can get into ways of surviving. Actually start living not in a house, but somewhere else, like in a car or whatever. The car is the best place to learn how to be homeless. Start living out of your car, and then you start understanding how to live in a survival situation. Or go out in the woods and pretend you're lost. Yeah, start living that way. I mean, I don't know if you can be married and do that. Yeah, so it's going to be tough. A lot of these guys that make a lot of money on YouTube showing you bushcraft and stuff, they got nice cushy homes, and they go to their nice white fluffy bedrooms at night with their nice cozy wives that like to be all cozy. Yeah. So you're not going to go, okay, wife, you can sleep in a nice poofy cozy place. I'm going to sleep out there in the doghouse on purpose. I don't think so. They're not living the lifestyle of being in a survival situation. So I'm not going to be trying to learn from someone that lives in a cushy place. Anyways, what do we got? Jim Cooper says, and he talked about learning survival from the homeless in New York City. Yeah, I watched videos like that. I watched videos of homeless people, and how in the heck are they surviving? They do that street corner begging. What do they call that? Panhandling? There's a term that homeless people use for sitting on the street corner with a sign made of cardboard, and that's how they get their money for food or drugs or both. Uh, let's see. Smallzilla says, Patrick, I made it. How'd I do for time? What's going on? Made probably my best obsidian Eden here. Cool. Did you post it? A picture of it somewhere? Obsidian Eden. All right, so I got it's 20 minutes until 9. Okay, I got to go till 10. So I got an hour and 20 minutes. I've already started napping, right? I'll be napping through these whole live streams now that I'm in my shop. I'm making progress on thinning this out, but I'm also talking about other things while I'm napping because I'm not watching the chat very closely. Uh, I'm just taking little flakes here and there. The See how the lighting is not that great, but I can't have it too bright. See what happens if I have a light color material? You can't even see anything. So the dark stuff just barely shows up. So hopefully you're getting something out of the napping, but I'm just chatting because I'm not paying attention to the. I'm chatting about my own stuff because I'm not paying attention to the chat over here. But let's see, what did I miss? I need to go back and forth. Yeah. Uh, Brendan says it was fun. It got dangerous, but I learned a lot of myself. Being homeless, yeah. India has tigers would be my guess. Yeah, Jim Cooper. Yeah, it's somewhere in India. I saw that video where the predators were coming in and feeding on the wild pigs and wild boars and stuff now that are running crazy in all parts of the world now. Let's see. Mike Mason says, that's my new method of looking for a girlfriend. I'm going to make her dig her own Jeremiah Johnson shelter. Let's see. Sal says, I'm napping right now and listening, not seeing much dumb comments from me. Lucky for you guys. Are you filming, Sal? Asked Tommy Taylor. Ed Gould says, I'm quiet tonight. Cool. uh, let's see. Jim Cooper says, my family has camped in tents, RVs, vans, cars, and VW buses. Yeah. Just try living out of your car if you have a chance. And then try to figure out, without using your house, how to take a shower. Okay. And where are you going to get your food? How are you going to cook it? And don't go camping in the woods. Try to find a space to camp in the city without getting in trouble. There's videos on how to do that, right? It's actually a skill to learn where to park in the city that you don't get robbed, you don't get harassed, you don't get arrested, but you can camp overnight. One of the places that I heard was pretty reliable is a hospital parking lot. If you have to sleep overnight in an emergency in your car, you go to a hospital parking lot. That sort of thing. And in the winter, you're going to fog up the windows, so maybe you're not going to be low key. How do I camp in the winter without fogging up the windows? I put a sheet over my head, but I pin it somewhere in the middle up, or I tie it somewhere to where it forms a little tent. And if you have a sheet over you, it contains the moisture and your windows don't fog up, as a way to stay more stealthy sleeping overnight in the winter, which I also did. Sometimes I would travel and I would sleep overnight, and no one would bug me because they didn't think I was in there, because they didn't see the fog on the windows in the winter. Just as an example. So you learn little tricks. And yeah, there's truck stops and stuff. The truck stops are a lifesaver because you can pay for a shower. It's the last time I paid for a shower is $12 or something like that. And then you can park overnight there. And then in the morning when you wake up, the food is right there. If you got some cash, you can buy your breakfast and whatever. Yeah, it's not that bad. Truck stops are a lifesaver, but just try it. Try to live homeless for a while rather than going in the woods and bringing a backpack full of stuff. That's, for me, that's not learning how to survive. Yeah. Learning how to survive is, uh, it encompasses everything, urban and rural type of survival. I think it's more dangerous to try to learn how to survive in the woods than it is to learn how to survive in the city. Even if the city is totally trashed, it's been reduced to rubble. There's no water, electricity, or anything gas, but there's still people there. There's still places where you can get food. Money still has some value, and you have your car still. They clear the roads away so people can drive around, and trucks can come in and out, and military vehicles can go in and out. So as long as your car is kept up well and you don't have a lemon, a type of car that's not going to break down, and then you have some sort of income that is mobile, where you can work from anywhere. Like I can nap from anywhere and post my auctions from anywhere, as an example. Some kind of job like that, you can survive in an urban environment. Yeah, and you can live out of your car. It's not that easy. It's not that comfortable, and you're not going to be able to sustain a family that way, right? You have to get more equipment, a bigger, like a big RV or something, if you want to try that with a wife or some kids. But hey, it'll be a learning experience for everybody, I suppose. As long as you don't have like a wife like I did that was a little bit too spoiled. And what can you say? Tough it out. Tough it out, woman. No, no, not if you want to be on cordial terms. Yeah, yeah. They got their ways. Hmm. They got their ways to make you miserable. If they're miserable, yeah, they got their ways to make you miserable too. All right, let's see what else we got. Bren says it will amaze anyone how quickly they can adapt and survive if they have to. If you know you don't have it and won't even get to eat unless you go get it. Yeah. But um where's this is not working? Come on. Did I turn it off? Yes, I turned it off. So I also saw a guy that was homeless living out in the woods and he didn't want to get discovered, so he would only travel at night. He'd go into the city at night and raid the dumpsters for food. But he knew where to go. It was a pretty famous story actually, where he was missing for 20 years, and the way they caught him was like I think that he had built a fire or something, and someone finally caught him, something like that. But he never cooked anything. Most of the time, he would just eat stuff out of the dumpsters just like that, or eat raw stuff. Yeah, I think this was up in Maine or something. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. I don't know how he did his laundry or what he did to wash his clothes. I think he just did everything in the lake. And this is winter and summer, fall, every season. Let's see. Alan Cole is here. Jim Maine. Let's see. Harley says, Patrick, I posted the Obsidian Eden on the community tab for everyone who wants to see. Awesome. Tommy Taylor says, Sal, if you're not filming, did you really do it? LOL. Like if a tree falls in the woods and no one hears, does it really make a sound? Let's see. Sal says, I'm trying to get quite a few preforms made for the Knapping. There you go. Let's see. Who did I miss? If I missed anybody coming into the chat. Okay, Alan Cole's here. We are live from the Knapping Shed. Yeah, we're live from the Knapping Shed. Yes, yes. I've got a background of camouflage netting. Hey, someone give me a $5 super chat. Alan Cole, thank you, thank you. Gas money for the Texas Snap-In. You get to open the gift box in memory of Doug, Patrick. Awesome. Doug Sutton, right? I hope I remember the name correctly. But thank you, thank you. Yeah. It's always sad when the napper passes away. I didn't get to know him very well. But I heard good things, yeah. Mike Mason says I'm back with my crown. Did you actually get chocolate flavored crown? I can't even imagine. That doesn't sound good to me. So I didn't miss anybody. Let's see. Hey, Marty's here. Buckskin NYB. Awesome. I destroyed one of your little nodules that you sent me because it was all cracked and I couldn't salvage any from that one piece. It's unusual. Yeah. But anyway, you missed it. Yeah. Say hi to Marty. So I seen everybody. I don't want to miss anybody's entrance. Okay, Buddha Cat is here. I had a dream This was a while ago. This was like almost 20 minutes ago. Buddha Cat says, I had a dream once when I met and fell in love with a woman that was running hounds for mountain lions. I've been heartbroken ever since. Yeah, I think I had it. Well, did I have a dream? I used to look up falconry because I wanted to get into falconry if I could. And then I found this lady on YouTube that was a falconer. And I said, whoa, okay, let's watch this channel. And yeah, she doesn't have many videos, but man, if I were to marry somebody again, yeah, that's my type. Yep. I don't know. We'll see. Someone that doesn't have cold toes. That would be a plus. Perpetually cold toes. Yeah, that would be a plus. But you never know. They're probably all like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and she used to make fun of me that I wear my socks to bed. Why do you wear your socks? Just take your socks off. Well, I have to defend myself. If your toes touch my toes, it wakes me up. Your cold toes. If your toes are warm, it'd be all right. But dang it, I don't want to. I don't want to sleep next to ice cubes. I don't know if anybody else goes through that. That and movies late at night. Can we just go to sleep? Well, we haven't even done anything today. Let's watch a movie. Oh, okay. And then guess what? The movie is on, and I'm interested in the movie, and she's asleep already. How does that work? So I end up watching the movie, and she's asleep, and then I had to get up all groggy and not in the mood to work the next day. It's like we were supposed to watch the movie together, but I end up watching it. She falls asleep halfway through, but I can't refuse, right? Problem is, once the movie starts, if it's any good, I say, wait a second, I want to watch this. Yeah. Wasn't that cool? Wait, what? You fell asleep? Yeah, surprise, surprise. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, then I had to explain the whole movie to her. If she stays and watches it, if she doesn't fall asleep, I got to explain it to her. Wait a minute, I don't get why they did that. We can just rewind it. Yeah, but that's stupid. I know, I see it. Oh, did the connection go down? Let me know if the connection's good, because I just got to notice. Hey, and I got a super chat. Let's see. What's this super chat? Marty, $4.99, KRF napping lessons. Thank you, thank you. But you missed the first lesson. It wasn't really a lesson because I demolished that piece. It had cracks in it. Yeah, I'm gonna do some more Knife River Flint here, but not tonight. On the next live stream, probably. The next live stream is Monday, and that's going to be the last one for a while. Let's see. Let me go to the end of the chat. Mm-hmm. So Alan Cole super chat $5. Thank you, Buckskin or Marty $4.99. Thank you. Let me see. Tommy Taylor's here. I think I've seen you already. I'm looking to see if I missed anybody. I think I said hi to everybody. Mm-hmm. You guys are shipping materials everywhere, which is good. Awesome. So Marty's cracking jokes. Where's the joke? I want to see. Mm-hmm. Gonna have to watch. Yeah, you didn't miss much. If you want to watch that Knife River Flint fiasco in the beginning of the video, you're not gonna miss much. Yeah, it was like one of the rare times where I couldn't nap it because it was all cracked. Yeah, this is high grade obsidian. It's like smoky obsidian. Can't see no translucency. Kind of, sort of. This is high grade stuff. I'm gonna switch over to dacite because if I'm just napping and goofing around, I mean, if I'm just yap napping and goofing around, I might snap it in half. I don't want to snap this one in half. I'm already causing a lot of little step fractures and weirdness. You can't see, but maybe you can see the angles that I'm napping at. I guess I don't know. I wish there was a better way to show the napping. It's like 90% indirect percussion. Let's see. What did I miss? Check the community to see the chocolate crown, said Mike Mason. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Gary says, Sal, take Patrick for a tattoo when he's in Texas. Alan Cole says, I love what you've done with the shed. Well, thank you. Thank you. Easy peasy. I forgot that I had the camouflage netting. I forgot that I had this. I got to hang a couple furs up back here then. What's going on here? Oh yeah, you need to get me drunk on Fireball if that's the case. I don't have any tattoos. I don't plan on getting any either. You'll have to, yeah, convince me to cheat on my diet, and I don't know how you're going to do that. I mean, it's not that hard to get me to cheat on my diet, but I'm not going to get wasted on Fireball. Nope, 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 nope. I'm so sorry. I'm not going to fall for that trick. I'm surprised nobody said anything about cold toes. Looks like I'm the only one. Dang it. I'm the only one that experienced that? Man. I feel so isolated. Yeah, I'm getting to the point where I'm crushing this. This is really wide. I'm crushing the flakes now, trying to drive flakes in because it's getting too flat. Man, this lighting is bad. It's getting too flat. Some of you guys might be saying, well, why does mine crush like that? It's probably because it's getting too flat. I've learned that the shape of the surface has a lot to do with the success of the flakes. It's not just you. You know what I mean? And some obsidians, they don't like flat surfaces. Some of them do. Some of them you can run long, flat flakes, but in most cases, that's a rare quality where you can run long, flat flakes. That's rare. And the ones that the materials that you can run long, flat flakes on, chances are you'll see artifacts made of that stuff that have nice flaking. Yeah. Because it has a lot to do with the material. Yeah, you can do a lot of neat things with good material. What kind of neat things? Like Folsoms and Cumberlands. If you have material that naps flat, you can make Folsoms and Cumberlands fairly easily compared to other materials. Some materials, they just barf all over themselves when you try to run long, flat flakes. They don't do it. They just will not do it. Yeah. They refuse. And it's not only you, sometimes it's the material. And I dare say that most of the time it's the material. If you're not able to run long, flat flakes, it's probably the material and not your technique. You can do any type of technique you want, and it's not going to do it with a material that needs a lot of convexity. I'm going to try to get rid of the crunchies in that, and then I'm going to move on to the next one. See, I did a lot of crushing right there, trying to run a long, flat flake across that surface, thinking that, well, it's high-grade obsidian, why not? Yeah, no, it doesn't always work. Yeah, and I've been doing this for a time or two. Yeah. So it starts to get repetitious, and you kind of get the feel of, all right, is it me or is it the stone? I've done this thousands of times, and you kind of can figure out the trends. It's kind of trending in that way that, yeah, it's got to be the stone. It doesn't like long flat flakes. There it is again. I tried to get it from the other side, and it just doesn't like these long. It doesn't like these long flat flakes, and it stopped. It stopped right before it did good things. So trying to control or try to do damage control with the endings of the flakes, I've always warned against that. It doesn't always work. In fact, most of the time it doesn't. And then it messes everything up. Dang it. So now I've got to lose some length to attack this from down here because I've already exhausted the side options to try to get rid of that mess. Yep. I can't get it from the sides anymore. Let me just trim it down a little bit, and then I'm going to shoot some flakes from the base. Hopefully that'll clear that up, but then it's going to be, well, it won't be too bad. Sometimes it gets a little bit too scooped out, and you don't get that modern, clean, symmetrical look that buyers really like. You know what I mean? You get the artifact look, but unless it's an artifact, it doesn't sell. If you try to imitate the way artifact looks and then try to sell it, it doesn't work. I mean, somebody might buy it, but it's got to be an artifact if you want to sell it for a good price, if that's what you're into. When it doesn't look nice and neat, it doesn't go. That doesn't work for modern made points. The wonky, asymmetrical, slightly step fractured, dull edged artifact look doesn't fly these days. Unless it's an artifact, then it's okay. Then it magically becomes the most beautiful thing he's ever seen. And they'll make videos on it, and they can't catch their breath. Look at this wonky blade with dull edges and some step fractures on it. Isn't it beautiful? Well, if I tried to make a duplicate of it and then try to sell it, someone will give me like $5. That's it. Isn't that weird how that works? All right, let's see if I can do this. It's got to have good convexity, which it doesn't, but it's obsidian, so it may just cut me some slack. Yeah, it might just cut me some slack. Did it do it? Oh, I think it might have, but it slammed into that mess. So I don't know if I can show this clearly, but it slammed into that mess, but it dug out a weird pit. That's a pit now. See this flake that I drove in. Let's see, where is it? Down, across, no, across this way. It did hit the back of that step fracture, but then it tried to dive under the step fracture. Now that I hit from the base, where is it? I hit up this way. It dug out that diving flake, and now there's a pit. That's so weird. Hmm. Yeah, that tells me it's too wide. It's too wide to do what I want to do. And you notice in the artifact record, a lot of these obsidian points are very narrow. Yeah. What did I miss? Tommy Taylor says, "Come on, guys, hit the like button. Everyone here is regular. You know the routine." Hey, yeah, we got 18 likes and 32 people watching. Strix, it is impossible to match the artifacts? No, it's not impossible to match them. It's just impossible to make money when you match them because real artifacts have defects, but no one wants to buy something made modernly with a bunch of defects. But yeah, you can duplicate them pretty close. Strix, what do you mean by artifact look? Sorry, I'm novice here. The artifact look is not perfect. It's got it doesn't have symmetry either from the side or the face, and it's got little step fractures here and there. It's got some scoop outs. Um, if you're a novice, you might not know what step fractures or scoop outs are. Sometimes they have dull edges. Okay, sometimes they have a curve, slight curve. Sometimes they have broken off barbs or barbs that are not even asymmetric, right? During the knapping process, sometimes the notches are not equally notched, and they may be one notch higher than the other. But on real artifacts, humans are funny. They think that's beautiful. The asymmetry and the look of it that's not perfect is beautiful. But if you're a modern napper trying to make something that looks like an artifact and then try to sell it, you'll get comments like, "You made that?" I used to do that. I used to try to make them look like artifacts, and then I got a couple of those people come up and say, "You made that?" Yeah, and they look at you like, "Are you weird? Is something wrong with you? Why would you leave that step fracture in there?" That's what they're thinking. Why would you make notches that are not exactly the same on both sides? Why is it not symmetry? And I looked on the edge. It's not perfectly straight. Why would you do that? I'm trying to imitate an artifact. Yeah, but when an artifact has a weird edge, it's beautiful. Okay, why is it beautiful? Because it's an artifact. People are weird, okay? That's all I'm saying. Yeah. And that includes me, yes. But I've noticed that's what happens. Hmm. And I say that because hopefully people will get into the conversation and start talking about it like you just asked. So it's not a dumb question. It's an interesting question. Wait a second. What happened? I got a notice. I heard a weird noise, so hold on. A weird noise like something turned off or something. No? Okay. Everything's good. There's no interruptions in the live stream. I didn't get a weird notification. Oh, let's see. Yeah, Strix, you made that. Yeah, that's what I've had one guy actually ask me like that. You made that? And it made me so embarrassed to say or try to explain because it's just not going to sound right to anybody. Yeah. And you just go, "Yeah, I did make that." Yep. and then watch them go, okay, good to meet you, good to see you. And then they're out of there. I bet he's probably whispering to his buddy, I thought this guy was a napper. I've seen a bunch of his videos and stuff. I thought he was a napper, but he made that. Okay. Alrighty. So I did manage to get that out of there. So now it's gone. That made me feel a lot better. See that? It used to be, it was a pit, a nasty pit of death in there, and then a bunch of crunchiness around it. But I managed to shoot one last flake. What was the last one? Yeah, right across here. That one worked. Before that, I did some flakes from the base. That worked pretty good too. Yeah. So if you look at it from the side, luckily, it's lucky that I was able to run the flake on a flat surface. I did pay the price though on the edge. See that crush on the edge? That was the result of the hard strike. So it's better to make these more narrow to start with. Yeah, when they start doing that, it's hard to get that stuff out of there. It's still kind of wonky in the middle. Let's see. Strix says, "Oh yeah, same thing with sword replicas. People just want high quality goods." Yeah. hmm Let's see. We're talking about a nap-in. Looks good. Alan Cole says, "Mac, that nap-in looks fire." Let's see. Alan Cole, I noticed that the brown areas caused a bunch of issues too. Let's see. Okay, Mac Bales is here. He says Black Rock Nap-in October 16th through 20th, Mount Hope, West Virginia. Okay, let me take a picture of that so I don't miss it. Oh, hurry up. If I don't take a picture quick, the chat's going to move. So it's the Black Rock Nap-in, October 16th through 20th, Mount Hope, West Virginia at Old High School. Free hot showers, bathrooms, camping, also a flea market, crafters, music, and pottery firing. Awesome. Jim Main says, I'm going to my first nap-in tomorrow. Hopefully I'll learn something. Hey, yeah, you will. It'll be worth it, especially if you want to get some big rocks. I just told somebody that was asking about that big rock that I napped. To get rocks that allow you to get big chunks like this, you got to get them at nap-ins. Yeah, I got it from my friend Don. He gave them to me because he gets this stuff related to work. Like they'll dig up a bunch of stuff for his work. They'll trench something and all this chert comes out, so he collects it, that kind of thing. And then he gives me the some of that stuff. All right, so here we go. Got that fire made, says Mike Mason. Let's see. Those flakes with the circles in them would make some cool points. Mike Mason says, people don't know what quality is these days. They want the shiny thing. Yeah. Napadex update. Yeah, I don't know if I have the West Virginia nap-in my list of nap-ins. I think I might have it. I don't remember exactly. Jim Cooper says, my birthday's the 19th. Oh, dang. Okay, so talking about the nodules you broke up with the hammer. Oh, yeah. No, those circles, a lot of times they're nasty. Like if it's got a circle in it or some weird thing like that, a lot of times it's got a crystal pocket or it's hard to nap through. So normally I heat treat this kind of stuff. This is from that big nodule I broke up. Normally I heat treat this stuff. It gets more brittle, but you can run longer flakes without smashing the edge all up. This edge tends to not be able to support the kind of flakes you want. So heat treating does help that. Like it's got these little circle areas right there. Sometimes they're nasty, but sometimes they're not. So you can try to include some of those in your napping, but it's not easy. Yeah, you just got to nap however it comes out. But yeah, it is cool when you get some of those in the material in your finished point. It is cool. Yeah, that is true. But there was one piece, not one piece. There was one section of that where pieces were coming off that had that what they call a VUG, VUG, which is a pocket of concrete, and those are nasty. Yeah, and this type of material is known for that. Yeah, this stuff. See that? That's like quartzite. See how it doesn't nap smoothly? If you heat treat it, it naps a little bit better, but just try to keep that within the point itself, and it runs into problems. You'll get step fractures through that. As the flakes get thinner, let's see, as the flakes get thinner and you try to nap through there, it'll step fracture right there. So you'll get a bunch of steps. See, right now it looks fine, but it was a huge, thick flake through that. That's the only way you can get through there without step fracturing, taking a big flake through that. This is like a quartzite. It might look pretty, but it's not. Yeah. I how do I know? I've napped a bunch of this stuff in the past, yeah. And that's why I heat treated. I know. Ask me how I know. I don't know. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, that's the one. Yep, yep, yep. I know exactly what you're talking about. It looks nice, but it's not. Mac Bell says Black Rock listed in your list, but not 2025 fall dates. I see. Okay, I need to update that for sure. Uh, Ed Gould says Danny has some Belton shirt for cheap and it's nice material. Yeah, this stuff is similar to Belton. This stuff, but this is from Medina County, which is further south than the Belton shirt. But it's similar. Yeah, I've napped Belton shirt as well. It's better quality than this stuff. This stuff can be good around the cortex. Like, see how this chalky cortex uh, has a little bit of yellow underneath it, and just below that, that material is okay. But as you get toward the center, it gets more crackly and brittle. Like, see, that's why this snapped in half. It's so brittle. But if I just make a point from the half of it that's near the cortex and chip off all this other stuff on this side, I can probably make a nice point out of this in the raw state. Yeah, see how it's darker on this side than that side? If I can capture this darker material, that'd be sweet. And I can do that. Yeah, I'll just zigzag this square edge and remove a lot of this side here. Why don't I do it right now? I got 40 minutes. Let's see. Let's try it. I'm going to put this aside because I don't want to mess it up. I almost messed it up right there, and it's still a little bit crunchy right there. But anyways, the other side looks okay. Yeah. This is very high grade smoky obsidian. Yeah, the transparency is excellent. That red is from the sign of the on air sign. Okay, so let's see. Let's try this. Yeah. The Belton type. This is very similar to Belton shirt. What's Belton shirt, dude? Don't be talking about stuff we have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, don't worry about it. You worry too much. Yeah. Every time I try to talk about what's it called, I get myself into problems. So I don't try to talk about what it's called. Yeah. because I can't answer all the questions. Besides, someone might give you some Belton shirt and you go, man, I've napped Belton and it stinks. It's bad. Well, you just got unlucky. But yeah, some of the Belton is crud. Let's see here. But some people love napping it, you know. Yep. So yeah, I took away the square edge. Did you see that? Did you catch it?
I can't see nothing, dude. It's all washed out. It's white colored, and the lighting sucks, dude.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'll get it fixed eventually. Don't worry, I'm spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars as we go. I just can't spend it all at once. I can spend hundreds and hundreds a little at a time. I just can't buy all the equipment at once. That's a nice flake. Yeah. It's nice when it travels through a concavity. You know it's got some flexibility. Let's see. That was a nice flake. So this material, I've captured the good part of it. Yeah, so I can make an arrowhead of that later. Not today. Probably never see it on video because I get a bunch like that. I get enough to last me months of this stuff. Literally months. Yeah, a friend of mine, Dawn, is very generous. Of course, I napped the biggest piece I had because I like the attention. Really? No. This has this has a little spot in it. I don't know if I'll be able to capture that, but yeah, I don't know if those are sea creatures. Oh, I learned something the other day where, you know how sometimes you find these big stones that have these scoop outs, these big huge boulders that have these scoop outs every now and then. They're made of sandstone or limestone or something like that. Limestone, I think. Turns out the sea urchins back in the day would eat through those, would eat into the limestone at the seafloor and make little cubby holes for themselves. Sea urchins would actually chew on the rock and hollow out these little scoop outs and sit in there. And I guess they feed on the water flowing through their digestive system. I don't know what it is, but anyway, you sometimes you see them exposed on the surface and people say,
Hey, yeah, that's where people scoop that out so they can cook soups and stuff in the rocks.
I bet you they did cook soups and stuff in those scoop outs in the rocks, but originally they're probably made by sea urchins back in the day, millions of years ago. Exploration ROX. I just started melting broken colored wine ball glass in a microwave kiln and made a point, and that's good. Sweet. Mike Mason says, you're going to post that in the community? Exploration ROX says, it's cool when you mix colors, you get different hues after napping. I would if I knew how, talking about posting videos, I guess, if you knew how to post a video. Uh, let's see. Somebody said $70 for a flat. Marty says $70 for a flat rate box. Okay, what are we talking about? Let me see. Let me go back here. Let's see. You could get into that point. It would be worth some good money. Oh yeah, if you can get that into the some of those things, if you get it included in points, it's true. It would be worth some money. Let's see. Buckskin or Marty says, what kind of heat would you treat it with? I just start with about 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 4 hours on this stuff, and then try napping it. If it doesn't do anything at 350 degrees, I would heat it again and heat it at 400 for 4 hours, and then let it cool down. Try napping it. If it still didn't nap very well, I'd go up to 450. I think it's maximum 450 before it starts getting too brittle. But I could be wrong. It might need 500 degrees in some cases. It depends on the rocks. There's never a set formula. So I got to experiment. So the range is 350 to 450 on most of the Texas stuff. Some of the Texas stuff heats below 350. You don't want to go above 350. Some of the Texas stuff starts at 450 and goes up from there. Nothing happens to it below 450 degrees. So for me to tell you exactly, not only would I be wrong, but I'd be foolish to do that. Just so you know. Yeah. I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I'm just saying. Yeah, it's hard to tell you exactly what temperatures. Even though I've been doing it a while, I've heat treated a ton of this stuff. It varies. Like both of these are from the same nodule, right? These pieces. This one might heat treat really nicely, and this one not. And they're from the same nodule at that temperature. Like let's say 450. This might slick up and be nice, and this one barely touched it. And they're from the same nodule. Of course, this is from the interior, and this is from the exterior. So I can already say that maybe the exterior one will nap better with heat, because it usually does, than the interior ones. But you never know. Sometimes they come out the same. Yeah, it's one of those things where you cannot predict. It's like the weather. Yeah, you kind of have an idea. You can get good at getting kind of an idea how it will be as far as the weather goes after thousands of years of studying and studying ice cores and stuff, and also building models for weather. Yeah, I can get good at predicting weather, but it's not going to be the same everywhere. It could be raining in one spot and then dry in another spot not too far away. Same with rocks. Part of the rock might nap really nice, but the other part not that far away. Nothing happens to it. The general rule is, you start at 300 degrees Fahrenheit and experiment. And if it gets ruined, just bad luck. But at least it doesn't get ruined all that bad at that low of a temperature. If it needed 300 and you heated it to 350, it's not going to be as bad as if you heated it to 400 and then only needed 300. There's a spectrum, right? So even if it gets way too brittle, as long as you don't go too much over the limit, it's not going to be that bad. You can probably still nap it even if you overheat it, but only if you overheat it by a little. So when I say you can start at 350, you are still taking a chance that it may only need 300. But it won't be that bad if you make a mistake at that temperature. So you start at 350. It doesn't nap. You put it back in. You can try 375 or 400, depending how patient you are. If you're patient enough to keep heating and reheating and cooling and reheating and cooling and trying and napping, if you're patient, you can dial it in and really get good at knowing for that particular piece of rock what it needed. Yeah. But you'll notice also that you'll have to kind of experiment with each batch. Or you can do like I do, just throw everything in, heat everything the same way, and then whatever breaks up, oh well. Yeah. Oh well. It's just rocks. I'll sacrifice a bunch of it for time's sake. Can't spend all damn day just heating rocks. I can now. To be fair, I can do it now if I wanted to. No one's going to say, hey, Dad, we got to go. Wait a second, I'm rearranging my rocks so I can heat them again. What? Never mind. Okay, I'll be there in a second. So you got to wait. And then put the heat treating on hold. But nowadays, I don't have to. And the funny thing is, I haven't heat treated anything in a long time. Mainly because it's kind of a pain in the butt. And another thing is it costs money. It messes with your electric bill. Really? Yeah, this time I'm serious. Yeah. If you're regularly heat treating, your electric bill is going to go up by $50 a month. That's what mine did. $50 a month. And this is when the electricity wasn't high priced. It might be worse now. Anyways, this stuff requires so much more force than obsidian. It's not even funny. And I got to make sure I grind the edges a lot, or it gets all crackly, like it's doing right there. And then if I grind it too much, I get the bites taken out. I get these what they used to call bending flakes. They think bending flakes is a technology, dude, just like overshots. That gets me so angry. It's not a technology. One flake type does not a technology make. One flake does not a technology make. Okay? All right. So now it's all wonky, like a real one. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see what we got in the chat. You guys, let's see. Bill Hansen says, Patrick letting loose on Friday night, no loincloth. Yeah, I didn't put on my lucky apron. I said, man, I don't need it every single time. We don't got no Fruit Loops in the comments section, I don't think. Let's see. Let's see here. Mike Mason next morning will be saying Patrick is using a mini box lighter to make his hands look bigger. Let's see. What material are we heat treating? Dave Ten Bears is here. This is called, well, we're calling it, my friend Dawn and I are calling it Medina County Chert. Well, he calls it Medina County Chert. It's on the southern fringe of the Edwards Plateau, just west of San Antonio. Okay? That's what this chert is. Now, I was knapping obsidian before. Okay? Don't ask me the properties of this stuff because it varies. I mean, you can ask. Well, I'm going to give you a hard time and you're going to say, dang it, dude, just answer the question and shut up. Just answer the question and shut up. I'll try. I'll try to just answer the question and shut up. This stuff varies from very crackly to somewhat good. So it's a mid-range chert, just south of the Edwards Plateau. So it's not one of those sweet Edwards Plateau cherts. Okay? Now, someone mentioned Belton earlier is similar to Belton. It's dry, it's crackly, it's brittle, but near the cortex, it's not bad. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, my pig lamp, Yeah, I've learned a lot about napping over these weeks. He's staring. He's always staring. Now I got the possum staring too. Yeah. Uh, mm, 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 mm. Let's see. Who else did I miss? Da, 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 da. Dave Ten Bear says, never heard of it. It sounds like sad rock. It's mid grade. Yeah. It's not sad. It can be happy sometimes. Bill Hansen says, no, but I got 300 or 400 pounds from a guy in Missoula. What are we talking about? I'm missing too much of the chat. Dang it. Uh, mm, mm, mm. Let's see. Sometimes I read the comments wrong, so I apologize. Good to see you, Dave. Yeah. Let's see. I think that's okay. All right. I think I've seen everybody. I said hi to everybody. If I missed saying hi to you, just say hi again so I can see. Yeah, I should be able to say hi to everybody. We only have 30 people watching. It seems manageable. Let's see. Good to see you as well, homie. Let me see here. Let me see. Okay, I'm caught up with the chat. Hopefully, I didn't miss. If you have a question and I didn't answer it, please ask again. Yeah, I know it's a pain in the butt to do that, but what can I do? Yeah. And I'll try to answer it and just shut up. Try not to expand on it too much. I don't see anybody talking about being homeless anymore. Oh, yeah. Sal is napping while he's listening. Yeah. Let us know how it's going because I saw that comment where you said the barb flew off. Where's the barb? I don't know where it is. Sal says, I'm fixing a crybaby sandwich. You're fixing a crybaby sandwich? That must have been a pretty decent sized barb. You can't see nothing, huh? I should still nap this because you can't see nothing. I like it when you can't see nothing. Yeah. When you're not learning nothing. I like it. No wonder you talk that way. You like it when we don't learn anything. That's why I unsubscribed. That's why I hit the unsubscribe button like a redheaded stepchild. All right. Here we go. I'm going to nap some dacite. Hopefully you can see this better. This stuff is brittle. I got this from Brian Olson. Brian's not in the chat tonight. Very generous guy. He gave me a lot of this stuff. Awesome. No, he started this one. Yeah, he started. I'm gonna finish it. Anyway, he started this one, and I'm gonna finish it. What size is it? It's a 5 3/4. Yeah. Good thing it's not over 6 inches because then it becomes one of those things that's one of those things with that generates a lot of anxiety. Yeah, I don't like napping anxiety points. What are you talking about? Normally, anything under 6 inches makes me barf. Yeah, I know. That's why I say that. I'm trolling the guys that like the long points. Yeah. You're trolling me? Yep. Nobody trolls the big points, guys. Oh, yeah? It's about time. It's about time someone did. Yeah. Is this high grade obsidian? I mean, high grade dacite? So far, so good. It is like a silver sheen almost, but we'll see. How can I tell if it's a high grade dacite? If the flakes hold together and I can nap on a flat, yeah, that's a good indicator. Yeah. If it starts to break up as it gets thinner in kind of an excessive way, if it's really, really finicky as it gets thinner, then it's not a good grade. You can't tell right now at this stage as well as you can once it gets thinner. Once it starts getting thinner, that's when you know. Yeah. See, at this stage, this is still easy peasy, relatively speaking. Yeah. So you don't know if it's good grade. It might seem like it's good grade stuff because you can knock off nice big flakes and seemingly runs on flat surfaces. Yeah. But looks can be deceiving. Yeah. Those seemingly flat surfaces might actually have just barely enough convexity to run those long flakes. And you'll think that you're maintaining the convexity as it gets thinner, and you're not. It's getting flatter and flatter. And eventually, that lack of convexity will show if it's not a good grade material, because a good grade material will consistently nap well, even when it gets flatter and flatter. But if it's not a good high grade material, the flatter it gets, the worse the flakes start to look. Yeah. And you're doing the same thing, the same technique. You're following the same rules. You're grinding it, for instance, you're isolating platforms, for instance, uh, yada, yada, yada. All the nice precautions, and it's still messing up when it gets thinner. That means the material grade is not that great. And you might say, so it's not me, it's the stone? Yeah, it is a stone sometimes. Don't let it go to your head, though. Yeah, that's the biggest mistake right there. Can't let it go to your head. It might not be you. Most stone, no matter what grade it is, it doesn't like you to take shortcuts. It'll get angry. It might be nice to you for a little while, but it'll start getting angry that you're taking shortcuts, and it will bite you in the arse for sure. Hmm. Oh yes. How do I know? I don't know. Now that was good. I don't know if you can see. I'm removing some nice flakes. I'm surprised at myself. Yeah. I need to get it more narrow though, because it's all fine and dandy at this stage. It's all fun and games, but we'll just wait till it gets thinner. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna make this more narrow so I don't have to deal with the inevitable crunchy stuff and islands in the middle as it gets thinner. I want to be able to run long flakes and across the piece. I can run long flakes, but if it's too wide, those long flakes are just not long enough. Yeah, not quite long enough. And that's when you run into problems. Problems, Problems, problems. There's no B in there because there's a special problem for Flintknapping, and we call that problems because it's only pertaining to Flintknapping. Yeah. No other craft at all has these problems. Yeah. I've done many different kinds of crafts, and flint napping is the most problematic. Hmm. What do we got here? Mike Mason. Everybody's still here. Let's see. Is Sal giving up his secrets? Yes. Don't give up your secrets, Sal, because then everyone will start making potato chips. Everyone will start making tater chips. You don't want the competition. Sal's making potato chips these days. I'm amazed. Yes, yes. Oh, the edges are not working. Dang it. So the edges are going to give me trouble. That's what's going to give me trouble. The thin edges. Okay. I see how it's going to go. There we go. It's starting to do it. This dacite, as it gets thinner, the edges start smashing up. So I'm going to have to figure out a strategy so that I don't have to hit really, really hard. Because these edges are not liking that. As they get thinner, I still have to hit hard to get big flakes, but the edges don't like it. They like it okay when it's thick. When the edges are thick, it likes it just fine. And it was napping all nice and cooperatively. But now they're cracking, they're crushing. So let me just take the edge back. Is it possible to make really wide points? Yeah. You just have to plan your flakes really well. Yeah. You mean you can plan the flakes? I thought there was unpredictable game of chance and it's just winning the lottery and good luck. Yeah, I know. You can plan, yes. Now, whether or not it's going to obey your plan is a different thing. But yeah, you can start planning once you get used to the material. And yeah, you have a reasonable chance of success, but you can't depend on that. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, you can plan on it, but it's not always the plan doesn't always come together. But you're going to need a plan in some cases, especially when the arrowhead doesn't want to be an arrowhead or it just doesn't want to cooperate. You may be able to get by if you're really, really careful and trick the stone into cooperating with tactics and strategies. But isn't that the whole point of flint napping is to learn the tactics and strategies? I mean, what are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about the whole time? I thought it was all strategies and tactics. No, a lot of it is muscle memory and instinct and feel and all that. Sometimes there is no strategy. You just get used to making the same point, for instance, over and over again. And it's just all stuck up here. You don't understand why you're doing it, but it works. You're not planning it out. It just you know how to do it every time because you made a bunch of them. There's that aspect too. So yeah, it's everything. So I gotta grind this. Luckily, I looked it up again just to make sure. Obsidian dust is not nearly as hazardous as flint dust or chert dust. Yeah, this is not as hazardous, the dust from this, as this. So I'm going to try to be napping more and more obsidian this winter and when I don't have as much ventilation in here until I can come up with a better ventilation system. I have a vent fan now that I'm going to install. I've got a filter from my box fan that I'll be using. I think I'm also when I'm going to Texas, I'll pick up a filter, a room filter that we used to have in my house um, when the kids were little. We were thinking that maybe they were getting sick because of mold or pollens and stuff. So we bought some air filters that use water to clean the air. So I'm going to pick up one of those and put it in the shop. I think they still work. Hopefully they still work and that kind of thing. So I'll have a better filtration system so I don't have to worry too much about the rock dust. I am still going to be wearing a mask off cameras, right? But it's still not enough. The accumulative effect after years of napping is not something you want to mess around with. And I've already been napping in excess of 15 years. I don't want to mess around with that because you don't recover. When you stop napping, if you've done damage to your lungs, it's permanent damage. So you're not gonna heal from it. It just it's not gonna get any worse if you stop. I don't want it to get to the point where I have to stop napping because of damage to my lungs. I want to be able to stop napping and have healthy lungs. Uh, you know, after I feel like I've napped enough in my lifetime, right? So I'm worried about that now because of my age. As you get older, the immune system gets worse. You get more prone to infections. I'm already having lots of sinus stuffiness constantly. I don't know if it's because of the area. Uh, Although my allergies here seem to be less severe than they were when I was in Texas, I don't know. I still have constant stuffiness. I'm sometimes I worry that it's the rock dust, but I think it may just be allergies. Yeah, but you never know. I was looking it up, and they say, yeah, sometimes the rock dust can mess with your sinuses too. So, dang it! Oh, that's nice. Look how thin that is, and it held together. That means it's not too bad of a material. Nice. When it starts to break up, when it's that thin, then you know it's going to be snapping halfish. But so far, so good. I got 6 minutes left. I can stop here. Yeah, it's the hard part's. I mean, the easy part's over. Now begins the hard part. Yeah. So I got used to what it needs. It needs very strong edges. Yep, same. I know what it needs now. It needs a very strong edge. It needs good convexity, even though sometimes it will nap on a flat. It still likes the good convexity. So I'm not going to make it too thin. And it has a nice sheen to it. So it makes for an interesting point. But I am definitely going to make it more narrow than this, even though I can run long flakes. See that long flake? Making wide points is not something I normally do, uh, unless the material is really good. Uh, hmm. Yeah, it's hard to decide whether I should keep it wide or not. See, I can keep it wide and make a nice wide blade, either modern or artifact looking out of that, and keep it wide. Maybe. We'll see. Let me get back in the chat. We got 4 more minutes. Let's see what's going on. And then I'll wrap it up and say good night. Okay. Okay. Hopefully you can see. I know you can't, but let's see. Let's see. Hey, Don Lazy. Is that how you pronounce your name? I see you in the chat. I don't think I remember your handle. I don't remember seeing your handle before. Who is this? The raging nose, prideful of his time in prison? Is there any transgender people in here? What the heck? There is now. What in the wide, wide world of chat is going on here? Let's see. Don Lazy. I might have switched it up. A big fan. I know your HQ work. Who are you talking to? You talking to Sal? They, them at the wrong house. Yeah. So waxy looking, says Dave Tenmares. Yeah, it's waxy looking, all right. This stuff is super waxy looking. This dacite, and it's not a bad material. And it's silver sheen. I'm amazed. See, not all silver sheen is bad. Yeah, and actually has a nice feeling to it too. I got this from Brian Olson. So, if Brian's ever in the chat, or he's got a channel too, I think, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe he doesn't have any videos. But anyway, hit him up. Brian Olson, very generous guy. And I got some other ones. This is even nicer. I don't know if you can see, but it's got bands in it. Yeah. I like this kind of dacite. It's even nicer. It's nicer. It's got a curve in it, right? But that's one of the challenges. He started this, and I'm going to finish. Yep. What else we got in here? Well, we got some long points. I can make a long blade out of that one. That might be in the excessive range. It might be near 6 inches, so I don't know if I want to go near it. New guys are probably going,
No wonder I'm not subscribed to this guy. This guy's a total nutball.
yeah, okay. Fair enough. All right. Okay, let's see here. Ed Gould says, does she it? I don't see that one anymore. What's going on? Where's where's Michael? Red-eyed Patriot. He's the one that's supposed to be stomping on these insects that come into the chat. Alan Cole says you should isolate a spot at the base and make a huge flute. Yeah. Sure. Yep. Sal says, Patrick, you might want to bring some cooler weather with you, please. Oh, no, don't tell me it's hot down there. I don't want to go to Texas when it's hot. I thought October would be safe. Let's see. Yeah, we haven't had a troll in a long time. So I might have to have to delete people myself. Dang it. Let me see. Mike Mason says, I've been an admin for Jake. I'd like to think in lax. Jake's main request, no cussing. Oh, I see. That's an easy one. Alan Cole says, Patriot has spread himself too thin. He's a moderator on everything I watch, I swear. Yeah, Michael's a busy guy. But yeah, we haven't had trouble with the trolls in a long time. Yep. Let's see. So Ross Wellman says, okay, say good night to all the nappers. Yep. I'm going to end the live stream here in a minute. I'm just trying to catch up with the chat. If there's any questions, you can ask at the last minute. I also tend to find people coming in at the last minute saying, hey guys, here I am. I made it. Yep. Everybody say good night. Yeah, I think Ross has been lurking this whole time. Jim Cooper says, good night, gang. Yep, it's been a good night. Today's Friday, so yeah, it's still night is young for a lot of you guys. For me, it's 10 p.m. Eastern, and there's not much for me to do other than search the internet so I can fall asleep. Yeah, I can turn off some lights here. This lighting arrangement isn't too bad. It doesn't bug my eyes as much as the one that we had before. And with a new camera, I think I can make it even better. Once I figure out how to use it, I have a new camera already. Okay. One day, Mike Mason says one day I'm going to get Wi-Fi and start to post crafty drinking channel. Okay, everybody have a good night. We'll see you on Monday. Monday's live stream is from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time. Alrighty, shake it easy. Yes, yes. Good to see everybody. Thank you for all the super chats. It was a good night tonight, and thanks for the laughs too. Yeah. Let me know if you want to see a specific thing because I haven't done any notching lately. If you want to see some notching, let me know. I'm in the process of making new notching tools. That's what reminded me. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.